a peninsula on the map, but a complete powerhouse on the world stage. This is where the unshakable traditions of thousand-year-old ancient kingdoms collide with the planet's most futuristic technology and most fast-paced pop culture. On one side, the tranquil silence of thousand-year-old Buddhist temples hidden among the mountains. On the other, the endless energy of Seoul, a massive metropolis that never sleeps for 24 hours, bathed in neon lights. This is a country that has historically remained in the shadow of its giant neighbors, been tested by brutal wars and divisions, yet has been reborn from its ashes time and time again. It is the land of a will and determination, known as the Miracle on the Han River, transformed from the wreckage of war into one of the world's largest economies and a global cultural phenomenon in just half a century. This is South Korea, the country of calm mornings and fast nights, of discipline and creativity. And with this documentary, we will delve into the depths of this fascinating country. Vast Wander presents Seoul is the energetic, relentlessly beating heart of modern Korea, a city that rarely pauses to breathe. This is the very epicenter of the Miracle on the Han River. Glass and steel towers, reaching for the sky in districts like Gangnam and Uido, rise as monuments to the country's economic ambition and technological power. When the sun sets, the city is virtually reborn. The streets of neighborhoods like Myeongdong and Hongdae are washed in an endless flow of K-pop rhythms pouring from every shop and cafe, and dazzling neon signs. This is the capital of speed, trends, and a pop culture that lives 24 hours. But just beneath this hyper-modern showcase, a thousand-year-old history quietly breathes. Just a few steps away from the futuristic buildings, magnificent royal palaces like Gyeongbokgung and Changdeokgung preserve the unshakable heritage of the Joseon dynasty with their meticulously crafted wooden roofs and tranquil courtyards. The Han River, flowing calmly through the middle of the city, both separates and connects these two opposing worlds. The capital, Seoul, is virtually the country's signature. If Seoul is the country's modern and relentlessly beating heart, Busan is South Korea's more relaxed and open soul, breathing with the sea. This is the country's largest port city and second metropolis. Its character shaped by the rhythm of massive container ships and the salty sea air coming from the Korea Strait. Unlike Seoul's dense and inward-looking pace, Busan's social life is lived on the coastline. Haeundae Beach transforms into a massive sandy shore filled with thousands of umbrellas in the summer months, while the front of Gwangali Beach comes alive with cafes and bars lined up against the view of the massive illuminated bridge in the evenings. However, the city's true raw and authentic soul beats in Jagalchi, the country's largest fish market. Here, the powerful voices of ajumas mix with the sharp smell of freshly caught seafood. This is living proof of a seafaring tradition that has continued for generations. And in the hills, Gamcheon Culture Village, once a refuge for Korean War refugees, has now transformed into an open-air gallery with its brightly colored houses, narrow stairs, and art installations. Busan is a point of balance, offering the port's unshakable strength and the sea's relaxation against Seoul's futuristic speed. Away from the intense pace and technological speed of the South Korean mainland, a volcanic sanctuary stretches into the Korea Strait. This is Jeju Island. This place, the country's largest island, possesses a completely different character from the mainland, where the raw power of nature reigns. The island is a product of Halasan, an extinct volcano that rises right from its center and is South Korea's highest peak. This volcanic heritage shows itself in every corner of the island, in the jet-black basalt rocks covering the coasts, in the massive lava tunnels like Manjangul, and in the cliffs resembling frozen lava waterfalls pouring into the sea. This is a honeymoon island, an escape, and a healing place for Koreans. This place is, in effect, the Hawaii of Asia. For the millions of visitors coming to South Korea, the first impression is often formed here. Incheon is the western extension of Seoul's massive metropolitan area and serves as the country's main gateway to the world, hosting one of the world's largest and most advanced international airports. This is not just a transit point, but also Seoul's vital port, opening to the Yellow Sea. However, the modern brilliance of this massive logistics hub hides the place where one of the most dramatic turning points in Korean history occurred. In 1950, during the darkest moments of the Korean War, UN forces under the command of General MacArthur made a daring amphibious landing here, defying one of the world's most challenging tides. This Incheon landing was a decisive move that completely changed the course of the war and enabled the recapture of Seoul. Today, this historical weight stands side by side with the city's unwavering ambition for the future. Incheon is home to the Songdo International Business District, built from scratch on land reclaimed from the sea. This futuristic, smart city showcases what Korea's future will look like with its sustainable design and latest technologies. Incheon is the city where the country first says hello to the world, harboring both one of the heaviest memories of its past and one of its brightest ambitions. South Korea's modern identity has been shaped around three main axes: the trauma of the colonial period, the pain brought by national division, and an extraordinary economic and cultural resurgence born from these sufferings. The first half of the 20th century was a period of national identity struggle for Korea. The 35-year colonial rule, which began in 1910 with the formal annexation of the peninsula by the Japanese Empire, was not only a period of economic exploitation, but also one where the Korean language, names, and culture were systematically suppressed. This deep trauma ended at the end of World War II and laid the foundation for modern Korea's unwavering commitment to independence and national identity. Freedom came with a greater tragedy for the peninsula. The country, divided in two according to the influence zones of the USA and the Soviet Union with the start of the Cold War, was dragged into a devastating civil war, starting with North Korea's invasion in 1950. The three-year war completely turned both sides into ruins, cost millions of lives, and ended not with a peace treaty, but only with an armistice. The demilitarized zone, still the most heavily guarded border in the world today, is a concrete proof of this division and the unending tension. South Korea's geography covers the southern half of the Korean peninsula, and the character of this geography is drawn by mountains. Approximately 70% of the country is mountainous. This makes it one of the most mountainous regions in the world. The Taebaek Mountains, stretching like a spine along the east coast, make steep and sheer descents to the sea, which leaves the eastern coast dramatic and less developed. As a result, the vast majority of the population and agriculture is concentrated in the wide coastal plains in the west and south, where major cities like Seoul are also located. The country is surrounded by thousands of small, mostly uninhabited islands along the west and south coasts. This geography creates a climate that experiences all four seasons sharply. There is a strong contrast between the cold, dry winters with freezing winds coming from Siberia and the humid, hot summers brought by monsoon rains. The foundation of South Korean culture is built upon a centuries-old Confucian heritage, and this heritage has permeated every layer of even today's hyper-modern society. Deep respect for family, elders, and social hierarchy forms the basis of all relationships. This situation also brings with it the social expectation known as nunchi, regarding reading others' feelings and the mood of the environment. The most prominent modern reflection of this traditional structure is the extraordinary importance given to education. The National University Entrance Exam, Sunung, is a national affair that determines social status, for which the entire country virtually holds its breath. At the same time, K-pop and K-drama, spreading to the world with Hallyu, are a modern cultural expression of this intense work ethic and aesthetic focus. South Korea is a country where contrasts are experienced in the sharpest and most dynamic way. On one side, thousand-year-old traditions bound by Confucian ethics, tranquil temples, and deep respect for family. On the other side, a 24-hour non-sleeping pop culture center that sets the global rhythm of K-pop and futuristic technology. This country, built on the deep wound of national division and the wreckage left by the Korean War, has transformed into one of the world's largest economic powers in just half a century with the miracle on the Han River. This is a nation with an unstoppable energy, defined by speed and efficiency, yet still carrying the weight of ancient kingdoms in its soul. Thank you for joining me on this dizzying journey in South Korea. While making this film, I saw again and again how this small peninsula could impact the world so powerfully. Beyond those bright neon lights and Seoul's non-stop energy, we discovered an unshakable will born from the ashes of war, a collective determination that created the miracle on the Han River. South Korea is not just a place where technology giants and global pop stars rise. It is also an extraordinarily layered country that blends the tranquility of ancient palaces with the modern culture of speed. This is a nation that, while having the world's fastest internet, also remains tightly bound to its oldest traditions. If this dynamic balance and unstoppable energy resonated with you, I would like to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to continue exploring together, subscribe and join us on our next adventure. Finally, I want to honor this extraordinary country with a simple but powerful Korean proverb that summarizes their modern success. To begin is half the task. They turned one of the most difficult beginnings into one of the world's most impressive success stories. Explore the world. Discover the extraordinary. See you on the next adventure. Vast Wonder presented.